In my last video, I talked about the markers that indicate a high conflict divorce, like the intensity of emotion and breakdown of communication. And I said in that video that mediation can actually be a really effective process for people divorcing when they're facing high conflict. And here's why. Before I tell you why, let me tell you that I'm Catherine Miller, and I've been a mediator in New York and New York State, New York City for over 30 years, as well as a divorce lawyer. And these tips really come from my personal experience, both in mediation and being a divorced person myself. So why mediation for high conflict divorces? Well, mediation creates a structured, neutral environment where people can come together and have the conversations that they need to have in order to get through the divorce. But you don't want just any mediator. You want to make sure that the mediator has the following skills. The mediator needs to be able to manage the intense emotions and not feel like they want to leave the room the second that it gets hot in there, because you need to be able, as a mediator, sit through those intense emotions and find a way to de-escalate them. So is the mediator comfortable de-escalating the emotions in the room and refocusing the conversation onto the topics that need to be resolved? And it's kind of an interesting thing because emotions come up because the emotions are there. And in some ways, you need to work through those emotions. You don't want to shut them down, but you also don't want them to let them take over the conversation. So a balance between being able to work through and refocus those intense emotions in a helpful way to get you back on track to talk about the things that need to be talked about. The mediator also needs to have experience with strategies for effective communication, because honestly, anyone who comes to mediation, if they could work it out in their own kitchen or at Starbucks, heck, they would, because why pay me if you can work it out on your own? You can't work it on your own, so you need those effective communication strategies. And finally, you need someone who has creativity, but also who's realistic and can bring that creative spirit as well as a realistic, pragmatic approach to the problems that you're facing and the situation that is your lives. If you want some more information about whether or not mediation could work for you, click on the link below and I'll be happy to send you over our guide to mediation and our checklist to see if it can work for you. Thanks for listening.